internet, and welcome to season 373, episode 3 of DAILY ZEITGEIST, a production of iHeartRadio. This is a podcast where we take a deep dive into America's shared consciousness. It's Wednesday, January 29th, 2025. Holy shit, is it ever? January 29th, 2025. My name's JackO'Brien, a.k.a. if you're starting communes, there are lessons, my son. You don't want to be Waco Midsummer Act 1. Hit me. That is courtesy of Halcyon Salad in reference to 99 Problems. And also my kids like really have like fond memories anytime we're like at a big group thing where we just like hang out with a bunch of people. And I'm suggesting that the children may in fact crave the communes after all. They might want to be back in more of a tribal setting than just like single family homes. I remember that from when I was a kid too. I'm just like, get me out of here. Get me out of this house. Just put me, I would rather be in a stranger's house. I will do a sleepover at the house of a person who I don't care for just to be like in with other people, you know? Anyways, I'm thrilled to be joined by a very special guest co-host, a very funny stand-up comedian, writer, actor, improviser, biomedical engineer. It's Pallavi Gunalan!
Hey guys, it's me, Miles, actually.
Oh my God, that is such a good impression.
I don't know how to do a Miles impression.
Are people getting mad at you for being here, like because
Somebody
Miles
did
is
suggest
still?
I did burn down his house, and you know
You
what?
did not.
You've never seen me and Miles's house in the same space, so maybe I did.
We're gonna talk about who did, and it's not Pallavi. That would be an amazing fucking plot twist. Like that would be a Howie Mandel podcast level plot twist. If we had you on and then had a story in which we revealed that you, in fact, were responsible for the Los Angeles fires, but no spoiler alert, it was private equity once again. Did everybody see the Howie Mandel podcast clip of Bill Burr and Billy Corgan?
No.
That sounds fun.
All right, let's introduce our guest, and then I want to tell the story just because I think a lot of people have seen it, and I don't think anybody knows what to like if it's a bit or not. But first, Pallavi, once again, this is a pairing we like so much that you guys guested.
It's in my
and
writer.
appeared.
It's my contract.
Yeah, I need at least every other to be this guest. In our third seat, the creator of RedDot Comics. You can go to Patreon right now to gain access to her tastefully inappropriate work. Please welcome back to the show. It's Kim Winder!
Hey, a.k.a. the carpet matches the drapes because I dye both.
That's how it's done.
I asked for help for an a.k.a. this morning. That was the best I got.
That was good. Well done to whoever helped you. Did I say who helped me on mine? That was Halcyon Salad. Shout out to Halcyon Salad. In the a.k.a. Discord doing the Lord's work. The Lord's work. This is a podcast about Christ and his good works and how we see them.
After the fires, if we didn't shift hard to praising the Lord. I keep trying to do a joke in stand-up about how the fires happen because I'm just like so gay and nobody likes it.
Nobody wants to hear that.
Nobody wants to hear how gay
except
I am.
that one guy
like,
who
in a cool way.
So that one guy who was on the local news being like, why is there those fires though? I think it's because people are gay. Anyways, that guy, a true hero. The Howie Mandel podcast is he has Bill Burr on. Seems like it's very standard, comedian interview and comedian podcast. And then Billy Corgan shows up. And suddenly Bill Burr is like, I knew you were going to fucking do this. Like, rather than being like, oh, Billy Corgan, lead singer of the Smashing Pumpkins, that's cool. He's like, oh, Jesus Christ. I'm like, oh, okay, they have history. And do they ever? It's revealed over the course of the interview that there's a suspicion that they have the same father. That, like, Bill Burr's father was a traveling salesman, and
He was smashing those pumpkins.
He was smashing pumpkins across this great nation. And Bill Burr's so funny and mean about it. He's just like, do you ever think that maybe like I don't talk about this all the time because I don't want to, but Howie Mandel is
so
a complete. He's just like, what's wrong? I'm just, playing dumb. Billy Corgan seems very uncomfortable, but yeah, they're like, yeah, we think he named us both Bill so he wouldn't like get us mixed up and wouldn't.
Wow.
And yeah.
Wait, is that like a legit?
That's
theory,
the question that everybody asks right away. I've found both sides. I've found people being like, well, you can see on Twitter or you can see on Wikipedia that like Billy Corgan's dad has a different name or something like that. But it just the way it's played, like it feels like a weird, if it's a bit, it's like the first Bill Burr bit that I've ever been like, huh, like usually
legitimate
like
tension.
didn't get that it was a bit.
Yeah.
Well, Billy Corgan is 1 year older than Bill Burr, so that's his big bro, dude.
Hey, big brother. He just immediately started. Billy Corgan's a big Cubs fan, and he just immediately starts shitting on the Cubs, which, again, Bill Burr is on a roll. The guy cannot do any wrong in my book. What were you going to say, Kim?
Oh, they just need to take a 23andMe. Just do it on air.
I know.
I know.
I was
Yeah.
like, why didn't
Simple.
Howie, like, I know he's like a germaphobe, but just like grab one of the mugs they drank out of. Come on.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, exactly.
Classic TV
do the
murder
detective
mystery
work, man.
situation.
This is what you
Yeah.
do. You set that situation up. Yes, it's uncomfortable. If you were a true showman who had learned the lesson of Deal or No Deal and the importance of a big reveal, you have a model standing with a briefcase nearby. You say, actually, the last time you were both on, I did snag your coffee cups and sent them to 23andMe, and in that briefcase, I have the answer. Are you or are you not brothers? And then, that's entertainment, baby. That's prestige casting, to quote Anna Hosnier in a way that she's going to be very mad about. But it's that would have been something. So my overall takeaway, I don't know if it's like been factually proven, if it's just a suspicion that Bill Burr would just rather not like look into or talk about. My main takeaway is Howie Mandel is a bigger asshole than I was giving him credit for doing that. But
That is so funny. And it's
yeah.
also like, who has the balls to piss off Bill Burr?
I know.
Right?
I know.
While recording, too. There's no taking it back.
Yeah.
Everybody, a lot of people are going to watch this, and he knew that, and that's probably why he did it. To launch the Howie Cast, or whatever the fuck his podcast is called. Anyways, Kim, it's wonderful having you here. We're going to get to know you a little bit better in a moment.
By bringing out your long-lost sibling.
Oh, you shoot Bill Burr.
Yeah, also Bill Burr.
Bill Burr.
His dad was fucking. All right, we're going to do a speed run through some stories here, but we've got one that I feel like we need to take our time with up top. This investigation from Matt Stoller in the newsletter Big, not connected to the 80s comedy about a woman who inadvertently becomes a sex offender due to carnival magic, but it's just the Big newsletter where he looks into the relationship between private equity and the Los Angeles fires. Private equity is a cancer on this country, is crippling a lot of our society, and we've been talking about it for a while, and sure enough, their fingerprints were all over what happened in LA. So we'll talk about that. The Trump, as with the first administration, more so than the first administration, it's just a fucking fire hose of bad shit.
Fire hose?
Yes, a fire hose that this fire hose was not purchased and made to cost $1 million by private equity, unlike the fire hoses in Los Angeles. But just a nonstop fire hose of bullshit. So we'll try and do a speed run through a handful of the latest things, such as the pause on spending, which we talked about a little bit on yesterday's trending, the his like trade war with Columbia, which he spelled with a U instead of, he spelled it like Columbia University in the executive like statement.
That'd be
But
funny
also
if he went through with it and just stopped trading with Columbia University.
Columbia University is like, well,
no, that's what we meant because of the protests or whatever.
this was the first time that I learned that they're spelled differently. So I'm a fucking idiot. But, you know, I'm also not the president. I don't have a presidential cabinet of people, you know, fact checking or
Hey, Jack,
spell checking
you're my
me.
president.
Oh, my God. Thank you so much, Polly. I've been waiting for somebody to say that to me.
I'm just trying to keep this job.
Oh, this is the way shit is right now. You just got to tell people they're your president to keep your job. We'll tell the Doomsday Clock to fuck off because it keeps coming with needless updates. We'll talk about a church or a shark that gave virgin birth. A bunch of shit. All of that, plenty more. But first, Kim, we do like to ask our guest, what is something from your search history that's revealing about who you are?
Bath pillows. I like taking bubble baths and my neck hurts and I want a pillow.
Okay. And how are we achieving this? Is it with a giant sponge?
Right now it's just a folded up towel that gets really wet and then it's just annoying to deal with afterwards and I just want to relax. So I looked up just like bath pillows, but they suck. So I'm going with a pool toy and I'm just going to have that behind
Pool
my
toy
neck.
is a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Keep it whimsical. Keep it fun.
Yeah. Just like a rolled up.
That's
or
what
like
Gandalf said. Keep
keep it whimsical. Keep it fun.
Keep it fun.
Frodo, my first
Frodo.
advice to you: keep it whimsical. Keep it fun.
Keep it fun.
That's right. Yeah, I was gonna say like a pool noodle, just rolled up Cinnabon style. You know, it was.
Oh my gosh. I would be so worried about it just bursting out.
Yeah.
I feel like you can just get like a baby floaty, you know, like a kid's.
Exactly. Like
That's probably
the
better. You
tub
don't need
thing,
to.
or
Yeah.
tube things. Yeah.
You're still my president, Jack.
Thank you. And see, I'm the type of president who can listen to conflicting opinions, but then I will censure you later and cut off funding for you later.
Yeah, cold bath.
Yes.
I can't do baths. I can't.
What?
I can't do, because I'm like, the tub needs to be, it's always like not clean enough for me so that I'm thinking about laying in the, you know what I mean? And then I'm like, you could wash it before, you could wash it after, but then that's more prep, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that I'm like not relaxed getting into it. I prefer getting into like a shower that's so hot your boyfriend thinks something's wrong with you and then just falling asleep standing upright. Like that is my version of relaxing in
Have
in
you
the
had
shower.
a shower beer?
A shower what?
Beer. A shower beer.
Fortunately, I don't have regular beers, but that sounds amazing.
Oh my God. Extra relaxation right there. You don't do in a bathtub because you'll drown and die. But if you drink in a shower, you'll just let it all go down the drain.
You sound such a wealthy woman right now. Like an eccentric,
thank you.
wealthy shower beers. That's what they don't want you to have.
This is my
shower
shower
beers were-
champagne, honey. That we don't serve to guests.
You have a specific shower champagne cup. Yeah. I've definitely partaken in shower beers in the past, and it doesn't need to be beer. You can have a nice shower bev. I think I've found that the thing that I enjoy about the shower beverage is like the contrast between the cold and the heat of the shower is kind of a nice thing. We discussed a while back a Reddit. There's I think an entire subreddit about shower oranges.
Oranges.
Yeah, just people who eat oranges in the shower and insist
Specifically oranges? I guess.
Yeah, and like at the time, it kind of made sense to me because you just let the peel fall on the ground, but peels are like easy to peels for
They like
oranges
clean the
are,
shower.
Yeah, they like make
citrusy.
it smell good, and then you
Okay.
also get that contrast of like cool juiciness mixed with hot shower vibes, hot shower energy.
This is what we're coming up with while China is doing AI.
Yeah.
We're like shower
Cheap
orange.
AI. Yeah.
Yeah.
We need
That's
more
right.
shower food options. Soup, not working.
Soup? No. Yeah, I think it needs to be cold on hot, personally. Like that's what I'm looking for. Like you would definitely want a like cold Italian sub and not like a hot meatball sub in the
Gazpacho.
There you
That
go.
cold?
I think too wide of an opening. You're gonna end up getting soap
Yeah, it
and
would
shampoo.
water down.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
the shower.
Like hair water is gonna be in your gazpacho.
Ew.
Yeah. But there's like something, it's like hermetically like the orange is like sealed off, and so it's not like a open top, There's something cool about an orange. Yeah, maybe we should throw this one to AI
I'll
to see
try
what
a blue moon and an orange next time I shower.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
I'll get back to you guys.
combination.
Yeah, so blue
in
moon
a
and
cup.
orange beer.
Interesting.
In a cup. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I'll try it warm and flat.
I'm going to hit a
as
Slurpee
well
in there.
as cold. A Slurpee.
A big blue raspberry Slurpee.
But see, those have the dome top, so you're actually not going to get as much hair water.
Big
in
risk, big reward,
I truly think shower Slurpee is the answer. Like that is something that I do need to try now. It's just the cups are a problem. You would need to get the hard plastic ones because the paper ones I feel like are always on the verge of rotting
Collapse.
out a little bit. Yeah, if I like find an old Slurpee from earlier that day, the paper is starting to feel a little soft and
Where
like
are you
it's gonna
finding
give out.
old Slurpee?
Like in a car. I leave it in the car because I don't want to bring it in and let my wife and children see that I've
Your
like
Slurpee
snuck
addiction.
a Slurpee. Yeah. But anyways, I really think shower Slurpee is going to be a thing.
Yes.
Yes. Well done. What, Kim, what is something you think's underrated?
Slurpees. Now that we're talking
Okay.
about it, totally different train of thought. But yeah, Slurpees. I can't remember the last time I had one, but they're the shit when you
They're
do.
so good. Oh, yeah.
They're so good.
Cherry and Coca-Cola, all the way.
Oh, okay. I love the Coca-Cola ones, but I like blue raspberry. That's my
Blue
that's my
raspberry is
jam.
also a favorite.
Yeah.
Those are good.
Yeah. Cherry. The ones that are just such a wildly unnatural color. Like they're the color
I
of
know.
like fire retardant, It's like that.
I love how when we were kids, you could just walk around with your tongue blue and everybody's like, oh, that's cute. And now as adults, it's like, dude,
You're on
Oh,
guard.
no.
problem.
Yeah.
Eat a salad, my guy.
Do they still do free Slurpees on 7-Eleven?
They do. Yeah.
Ooh.
So mark
Damn it,
your
I have a
calendars,
year.
folks.
I can't bring myself to buy a Slurpee, but I will accept a Slurpee.
They should have it also at 7-Eleven every day, 2 times in the morning and in the evening, and
There
just
we
have
go.
a mad dash for 1 minute. I feel like that would be
Oh, like 1 minute of free Slurpees?
one min free slurp. 1 min free slurp. Guys, thank you for taking this meeting with me. I'd like to tell you about my idea, 1 min free slurp.
Okay, sharks.
Sharks. Kim, what is something you think is overrated?
New Yorker cartoons.
Oh, come on. They're so funny every time.
Cartoon drama. I'm here for it. Give us
Not drama. I just feel like they're so picky, and when they do finally pick one, it's a joke that's been done already a billion times, probably by the same artist that submitted it 5 other times.
Right.
And they fall flat. And they don't have
Yeah.
Put more slutty cartoons in in your literary mag.
Yeah, I want smut in my New Yorker.
Yeah.
Be a real New Yorker. Give me smut.
Do they have a no smut, like no sex, no swearing policy?
You know
Probably,
what? I don't
right?
know, but I can't
Because you're
recall
right.
any that I've seen.
A lot of them are very basic, like observational jokes that have been like in the stand-up world since the early 80s, but they're like through a filter, like they have an Instagram filter of like twee upper crust New York person that they're like kind of filtered through, so it's like a bunch of take my wife seriously type jokes, but with filtered through, the day-to-day life of somebody
Sex
who's
and the City-esque
yeah.
people.
The parents
upper
from
middle
Gossip
class.
Girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn. The cartoon game. How's it going out there?
You know what? They keep rejecting me, so that's why they're overrated. Right.
Yeah. Fuck you, the New Yorker.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
You can't come up with shower Slurpee and
Exactly.
think outside the 4 lines.
That's right.
Yeah. Think outside the tub.
All right. Let's take a quick break and we'll come back and speed run some news. And we're back. And, obviously a lot of factors contributed to the severity of the wildfires. We've talked about a few of them. We haven't talked about how private equity played a hand in making things way, way worse. So shout out to Matt Stoller, who is somebody that I wasn't fully up on pretty recently, but now his newsletter, has been... something I've been reading. Like I had another story on the doc for yesterday's trending episode that was also like one of the main sources was his newsletter. So shout out to him. Again, not connected to the movie about a woman who becomes a sex offender due to carnival magic. It is just a politics newsletter.
Well, then I don't want to read it.
Exactly. What a strange
Exactly.
premise for a movie. But he outlined how, so I guess he interviewed this antitrust lawyer who kind of outlined exactly how private equity was responsible for the LA Fire Department's depleted resources. Specifically, a lot of people pointed out, like, as the fires were burning, like, there were all these LAFD fire trucks just out of service, just parked in, like, fire truck parking lots. And people were obviously quick to blame the city's budget cuts, which, rightly so. The city raised funding for the police, but not the fire departments as crime is falling and the danger of fire was getting higher and higher due to climate change. But the reason that was especially damaging in the past couple of years is because the cost of fire trucks has skyrocketed from it used to be like $300,000 to $500,000 for a pumper truck, $750,000 to $900,000 for a ladder truck, and now it's $1 million for a pumper and $2 million for a ladder truck just over the last couple of years.
And an extra 1,000 for the Dalmatian that goes with it. It's crazy what's happening out here.
They don't even come with sunroofs.
But it's basically a private equity company went through, like we talked about this with when we did our private equity episode about how ambulances used to be free. That used to be a thing that was just, you called an ambulance, they took you to the hospital.
When?
And you didn't get, like, in the 70s.
Fucking boomers had everything.
Yeah. And then
nice.
the private equity industry came through and was just like, no, we can make people pay for that. And a lot of times it's going to be their insurance paying for it. So it's like, nobody's going to be paying attention. So we can just like make people pay insane amounts of money.
There's nothing equity about this.
Yes, exactly. That the private equity is not a wildly accurate descriptor, I would say, for the industry. But yeah, first of all, not just fire trucks, all fire equipment increasing quickly in price. So this is happening as the budget is going down. So even more reason to be frustrated that the budget went down. But just on how all of this was caused, a private equity firm called American Industrial Partners was buying up fire truck companies and forcing up prices across the board. So they bought like major, like all the companies that were competing with one another, rolled them up into a conglomerate called the REV Group, and then claimed that the companies would all continue operating independently despite sharing the same owner. But of course they did not, and they punished people if they ever showed the slightest sign of being competitive with one another, and then were able to charge whatever the fuck they wanted. So
I didn't even know that was possible. How dumb am I? I'm like, everything is private equity now, and I still didn't know that was possible, that fire trucks could be private equity.
Yeah, everything can be private equity. Like the whole system is set up. Like I heard somebody, I think it was the Mexican president actually described the neoliberalism and like our current, system that we'd been operating under for the past, for our lifetime until fascism just took over. And it was described as like a system designed to redistribute wealth upward from poor people to corporations. And like the more you just look at how everything operates, that's exactly what is happening. It's just massive companies with power coming in and just finding ways to make money out of nothing in ways that just kind of make our lives worse or more dangerous. They take over, in our past private equity episodes, we've talked about how they've taken over prisons. They've taken over like the phones that people use in prison. They've like made those incredibly expensive because they know nobody's going to like feel bad for people in prison. So they just like find any way that they can charge people a ton of money. Pet care, the veterinarian clinics have been taken over because they know that like people are up against it and will pay anything to take care of their pets, and so they find a way to monetize that.
I was even talking to like a doctor recently who's
yes,
like
was
talking about private equity, like that's the reason a lot of doctors are quitting.
Yes,
because they're sick of it, because it's like they don't have enough money to like have their own practice, to avoid the kind of takeover that private equity is doing to hospitals. But they can't, like, they hate how they're just being forced to see like an insane number of patients per hour, which means they can't give those patients the proper care. And then if they do stand up for patients, then they're more likely to be reprimanded or, hurt their career in some way because of private equity taking over and requiring these quotas.
Right.
It's messed up.
It is messed up. That's right.
And even with the fire trucks, you can't even say burn it down because they're fire trucks. So they're going to stop that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Really good point, Pallavi.
Thank you. I got big brains.
But yeah, it's like they would shut down plants. Like, so during the pandemic, federal funding kicked back up and people were hungry, municipalities had funding for fire trucks. And as that was happening, they were just shutting down factories and then charging a shitload more for the fire trucks that they did sell, because they didn't have to be competitive. Like this is also the thing, like you were seeing with Silicon Valley and like the tech industry and like this whole AI thing where they're like, wait a second, I thought we were the best at AI, right? And it's like, no, the entire tech industry, all of these like, the things that have power, like all of these forces of capital, are just designed to protect themselves and like create monopolies, preserve monopolies, accumulate capital, and gain political power so that they can continue to protect their monopolies.
Monopoly, a game invented by a woman, stolen by a man, and then monetized.
Yeah. Invented by a woman that was about how monopolies are bad. And then stolen by a man and turned into a thing where you're like, I want to be the monopoly. But yeah, the Stoller article, he's like pointing out, it's like what we saw with Boeing, it's what we're seeing with everything. It's companies get all this power, destroy all competition, and then, proceed to do a worse job and make more and more money. So that's what you're seeing with the tech industry, and you're going to see the tech industry start being beaten pretty easily by other countries where this is not the case. But we're also seeing it everywhere private equity goes, which is everywhere in the United States. And that's certainly not going to change under the, fascist oligarchy that we now have incoming. So that's not good, I would say.
Change the name of the podcast. I'm done. Just change it to That's Not Good.
That's not good.
That's not
We'll
good.
say it all together. 1, 2, 3.
That's not
good.
good.
Seems bad.
Can we 3D print fire trucks? Like, what is it, the Chinese AI called? Deep something? How do we do
It has
that
a
with the
way.
fire
DeepSeek.
truck? DeepSeek.
There we go. Didn't the LAPD get more funding this year, though?
Yeah, that's the police department. Yeah. Their budget does go up.
It's just so disheartening. I don't have much to say on it besides, this blows.
Write a New Yorker cartoon about that, bitch.
Yeah.
This blows.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not great. So I don't know. Private equity, obviously a huge problem that I don't know. It's been very clarifying for me in just watching the news to be like, oh yes, there's this hidden force that is undergirding all of these things. It's just none of the news really talks about it. You have to go find the people who are allowed to tell the truth about it. And
I think we also need to ostracize people in regular job positions that are contributing to bad things happening in the world. Because I have a lot of friends in Silicon Valley, and they are all like, it's fine that I work for this company or do this thing. Engineers and stuff that are just looking for stable jobs. It's if they don't have the labor force to continue this awful cycle, then maybe those people would work for better companies. Do you know what I mean? Maybe we could have power that way. So I do think that it's an individualistic country, but as individuals, we aren't making the best decisions either for the common good or even for ourselves overall in the long term.
Right.
I'm saying bully more. Bully people more. Bully your friends more. Oh, you work at Raytheon, you bitch.
Most of my friends do work at Raytheon, and I do think it's about time I said something to them about it.
I'm not even kidding. A lot of my engineering friends go into the worst companies, right, because
that's
from undergrad, because they're just because it's acceptable. It's normal for them, or consulting or Goldman Sachs or things. I know so many people who have done that, and it's because scientists and engineers and all of those people, they don't see the outcome until it's too late. It's not the technology hasn't caught up to the ethics hasn't caught up to the technology. No,
it hasn't. The ethics, it seems like there's not a ton of moral courage going around right now would be my overall read.
To be optimistic, I think a lot of people that go into these companies nowadays, anyone that applies for Tesla, obviously a passion for the engineering, the science, what it can do to help the environment, but also I can change them. I'll be the good, and maybe my little goodness will help the bigger picture, because we are so individualistic. But then it just chips away at you and you lose the plot.
All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back and talk about some bullshit. We'll be right back. And we're back. And just in case people saw the Doomsday Clock headline, this is maybe a little bit of not hopefulness, but a little bit of don't worry too much about this one. The Doomsday Clock just got moved to 89 seconds to midnight, which is the closest to midnight since the introduction of the clock in 1947. It's the countdown to nuclear Armageddon. They say it's due to the state of arms control treaties, active conflicts involving nuclear weapons, and widespread conspiracy theories. Heading into this hosting this show, I assumed that it was like somehow scientific. They always talk about how it's like the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists, and that like I assume there was like some scientific reasoning behind how they choose like where the clock goes. It's not.
It was bought by private equity.
It was bought by yes, and they just turned it into an actual clock that they sell for. It's like the football phone, or the hamburger phone. No. So when it was created in 1947, it was set to 7 minutes before Doomsday because the artist who designed it thought it looked good to his eye. And also just it didn't even move during the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Then was it really a crisis?
Like, I was drunk that day.
Yeah, sorry. To be fair, super hungover. It was the 60s.
Hungover.
We were all just mad-menning it all the time.
Too many steaks and martinis at lunch. It
What are you
sounds
thinking?
it sounds like this is pretty much like the guy that had the old pug where it was a bones or no bones day.
Oh
where
my
he
God,
would have his
bones or
senior
no
dog
bones.
stand up. Are we good today? No. That's basically their logic in this. It looks like shit, so the world's shit right now. Okay.
Yeah. It's like the scientific community's equivalent of Groundhog Day, you know, where they're just like, what did the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists say today based on some news that has been forwarded to us? We're going to go with it's bad. And it is bad. I don't want to say it's not bad. I just don't think people who probably already recognize that it's bad need to take this all that seriously.
I desperately want to say it's not bad, Jack. What are you talking about?
Things are
I'm dying to say it's not bad.
Things
It's what
are
I want more
good.
than anything in the world.
All right. Shall we do a little shark news?
That would be
yes.
lovely.
A little shark miracle?
Fucking love sharks.
So some aquarium sharks have proven that Jeff Goldblum's character in Jurassic Park is right. And this is also under the category of women really don't need men news. A baby shark was born in a Louisiana aquarium.
Shark doo doo.
It's the words "baby shark" are borderline traumatic for anyone
I know.
who's
I was
had
gonna
young
say
kids.
you completely disassociate.
Yeah,
Just glazed over
My
immediately.
brain is broken. It's so in this story, a very young shark was born in a tank to two female sharks who haven't been in contact with a male in over 3 years. So people are wondering what could have happened.
Baby shark doo doo doo.
That's right.
I was thinking turkey baster, but that's just me.
Oh,
Who's getting in
how
there
would
with a
their
turkey
flippers get
baster?
around that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a shark scientist.
I know. Well, the shark
I do
scientists
keep
seem
accusing you of
baffled on
that.
this one.
Have we
are.
consulted
Very
any
shark
shark religious
scientist.
figures?
It's all
I-
male
Shark
shark
Jesus.
scientists, and they're like, we don't. How do you even have sex?
What?
Like, what? What
Wait,
goes
what?
in where? Wait, no dude was watching. What? That's
Yeah.
wild.
One staff member literally quoted Jeff Goldblum's character. "We are very excited in the coming months to confirm whether this was indeed a case of parthenogenesis or if it was delayed fertilization. It really proves that life finds a way," he added. Yes, it's a he, referencing Jurassic Park.
There was a story not too long ago. I think it was just last year. A stingray was pregnant or quote unquote pregnant and not around any males, but turns out like had a tumor and died. And the zoo was just saying, yeah, she's mysteriously pregnant, not around a male at all. And they did it for publicity. And then it
Oh,
finally
it was
came
a
out.
fake pregnancy.
Yeah. And they just like the animal just had a tumor or something in it because they kept pushing like when the baby was due, and it just never
Oh
came.
my God, that's crazy.
Yeah, I have to look it up
The
because
aquarium was having a hysterical pregnancy.
they were just
zoos
doing,
have like
you know,
resorted to like early 20th century carnival barker shit where they're just like, look at the
Yeah.
amazing
They definitely did
gay
that after Moodang.
childbirth. Yeah.
I followed a bunch of other. I already follow like a bunch of other zoos and animal accounts, and they were like, "Wait, we also have a Moodang. We got one too. It's just shy, okay?"
Yeah.
So I feel like they are eager.
Yeah. I mean, they're writing about it in the journal Scientific Reports, which I have no way of knowing if that's like one of the
Unclear if
good
that's-
ones.
Yeah. It's just like a Scientology journal. What is the age gap on the moms? You know what I mean? Like, is it problematic? Is it okay?
That's
I
the
know, is
real
it a
question on
healthy
everyone's
Sharks
environment?
live
mind.
a long time.
I guess there have been a few stories in recent years about so-called virgin shark births, though. So
These
and-
fucking slutty sharks.
so they think it might
Sorry,
be
what, Kim?
delayed fertilization. I don't know what that's wild though.
I looked up the stingray. It's Charlotte from the Aquarium and
Sex
Shark
and the
Lab
City?
in Hendersonville, North Carolina. Became pregnant without a male in February 2024, but turns out the aquarium thought she was pregnant, but it turns out she was either fed too much or had a tumor, and then she died in July.
Oh my God. So sad.
Yeah.
Wait, these ones are called swell sharks?
They're swell.
Cat shark in the family of okay.
Yeah.
Whoa, I cannot pronounce that. But they look like smaller.
The sharks are small.
They don't look like. Oh, swell sharks are typically around 35 inches in length with a maximum length of 43 inches. Okay.
All right, queens. I see you. It will be interesting to monitor to see if, 3 king sharks come and visit the baby or any appearance.
You know,
like,
Trump's about to write an executive order that's like, no gay sharks.
Yeah.
No sharks are allowed to be
God.
gay.
there are only 2 types of shark childbirth. I don't know.
Painful or more
Shark,
painful.
I'm pro shark life, personally.
Shark Jesus is coming back to make us pay for our sins, I think is what this is. That's how Jesus' story, right? He's
Yeah.
vengeful and came back.
Yeah.
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 Vengeant.
Started a
vengeance
private
is mine.
equity with the disciples.
That's right. All right. What else? We got Roseanne is threatening to make another sitcom, despite having been fired from a show that was literally just called Roseanne. Roseanne Barr wants to make another one, but this time, I guess it's kind of not a sitcom so much. It's about a small town farmer in Alabama who is saving the United States from drug gangs and China. And when she's not battling Chinese drug gangs, she's growing and selling drugs.
So she is the problem that she's claiming immigrants are.
Right. Exactly. She,
Do we see a fentanyl connection, guys?
right. Exactly. We've got to fight fentanyl at the border, even though it's not coming over the border.
Did her rap career not work? Because this is a pivot.
Yeah, we didn't
already.
really cover her rap career, but that was the thing, right? She dropped a rap track on all of our asses.
Yeah, it was really bad. Also, let's just say instead of Roseanne being about Roseanne, it's about Laurie Metcalf. Can we just rewrite history? Because I love Laurie Metcalf.
I know, so great. I mean, that show was wonderful, despite her, losing her mind as it was coming back and becoming popular. According to Barr, the characters in this will save America with guns, the Bible, petty crime, and alcoholism.
So she likes crime.
She likes
What a
crime.
great
She likes
mix.
drugs as long as they're done by her. Like it's a very kind of clarifying statement on what the MAGA ethos is. It's just like
White
no, it's just
supremacy.
that we get to do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're allowed to do all the bad stuff, but when you do it, it's bad.
That's what, like, I was watching a clip of Hassan Piker, and he was saying that because of how MAGA is so just like one note of just this deep loyalty to white supremacy or nationalism, they are now going to, because they were all about like, oh, he's going to make the economy better. He's going to make egg prices go down. And when they don't, when they get worse, they're going to like spin it as like patriotic to pay more. You know, just in pursuit of white supremacy.
My patriotism tax.
It's like, it'll make you a better American. And they already have. They're like, look at these fucking Democrats worrying about the economy. And I'm like, bitch, that's what you voted on. Like, what are you talking about?
That seemed to be your whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's, as we talked about in yesterday's trending, like, I mean, he's freezing all aid. Like, all the stuff that you typically look to the government for. He's really, like, testing the limits of loyalty. He's like, yeah, like it's almost like a gangster like being like, I need you to shoot your grandma.
Kiss
like
the
to
ring.
prove that
grandma.
you to prove how on board you are with this, because there's a lot of very old people getting fucked over by that freeze on federal funding. It's just
There's already been rumors about him speedrunning, trying to get martial law in place by doing all of these over-the-top things to get people pissed off enough where he can just jump the gun to what he really wants.
We're
Which president implemented martial law recently and then got ousted? Was it South Korea?
Yes.
Yeah.
But he got ousted, and we're not going to do that. We're too cooked to do that.
It feels like we're too cooked. It feels like there's not the willpower. I don't know. Maybe people will surprise me, but the New York Times has been, I don't know, just been slow motion, just very a lot of their takes on all of this have not inspired confidence. Anyways, this Roseanne thing is gonna fucking slap when somebody makes it. Except nobody has agreed to.
So she's just pitching it. She's just ranting into the ether
broadly. Yes, but
this woman, like, when people get to a certain age, like, they need to just have hobbies and the love of their family. Like, why is she still doing stuff?
It's kind of like the Coen brothers thing was her quote.
What? Coen brothers? They're what?
If she
she's
can
gonna make
end
it
her
herself
series
if Hollywood
like
doesn't
No
buy
Country
it.
for Old Men, I would be 100% on that.
Right? Yeah.
I would totally watch it.
Morally bleak.
Yeah.
No Country for Old Men style sitcom. Like I would watch the shit out of that, but I don't. Something tells me she wouldn't be able to pull it off. Anyways, Kim, it's such a pleasure having you on the show.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
Where can people find you, follow you, all that good stuff?
I'm still at the evil corporations of Meta and X for now, but I'm also on Blue Sky, Reddit, Patreon, and then people are starting Substacks. Maybe I should get into that too. Just add it
do a
onto the
Substack.
pile.
Yeah. Just do all of them.
All at the same time.
Amazing. And is there a work of media that you've been enjoying?
I've been loving the compilations of people just responding to MAGA hats. If what Elon did wasn't so bad, just do it right now. Right now on it, do it. And then pivoting. That is just delightful to watch.
Yeah. For some reason, I don't know. And then people, I have seen the videos where the people do it in their bedroom, and it's like, whoa. But it's still like so scary. Amazing. Pallavi, where can people find you? Is there a work of media you've been enjoying?
I'm at Pallavi Gunalan everywhere. You should know how to spell my name by now. And if you don't, oh well.
Fuck you.
I have a show at the Comedy Store called Facial Recognition Comedy. It's monthly. Our schedule's been like a little bit off because of, I don't know, fires and whatnot. But also, I'm going to be trying to like tour more. So I'm going to the Pacific Northwest, like Portland and surrounding areas at the end of February and the beginning of March. If you have venues you think I should do, hit me up. I might try to put shows on there. And I think in March, I'm going back to San Francisco at some point. I have to decide what dates to headline like the function. I'm going to San Diego a bunch. So check me out on my website or on my socials. It's a thing of media. Okay, two things. One, I'm really into physical media right now. Okay, I just bought a fucking planner that's from like the Natural History Museum and has pretty animals on it. And it's, oh my God, Kim has one too. And I'm like,
Planners
it makes me feel like just mentally like peaceful. Like I have backups of my shit online of like what I need to do when and whatnot, but it's just so nice to like write, you know, and just like have something physical in front of me. I love it. It's beautiful. And then another tweet that I saw that was really funny was at Cosmic_Marvel had a tweet that said Spider-Man 4 will reportedly introduce a new love interest for Tom Holland's Peter Parker, and at Clintons_emails quote tweeted it with day 8 and Trump has gotten rid of Zendaya.
That's amazing. Tweet I've been enjoying from Paddle at iPaddleAround tweeted trying to be empathetic. Holy fuck. I'm so glad that isn't happening to me. Wow, that would suck. You can find me on Twitter at Jack_O'Brien. You can find me on Blue Sky at JackOB1. You can find us on Twitter at Daily Zeitgeist. We're at The Daily Zeitgeist on Instagram. We have a Facebook fan page and a website, dailyzeitgeist.com. You can go to the episode where you're listening to this and check out the description of the episode, and you will find the footnotes, which is where we link off to the information that we talked about in today's episode. We also link off to a song that we think you might enjoy. And when Miles is out, we like to ask on super producer Justin Connor. Justin, is there a song that you think people might enjoy?
Yeah, I usually recommend songs from a bunch of different genres, but I've mostly stayed away from dance music, even though it's my favorite thing to play when I DJ. So this track starts off slow, but it dips a toe in dance music, and it blends a bunch of other genres together. This is relatively an unknown artist named Zepp. He's like a multi-instrumentalist. He's got a really creative DIY approach to music. At one point, he even like stretches a roll of duct tape out and plugs it like a stand-up bass. It's really, really fun and interesting. So this is Mosquito, as in like mosh pit and mosquito mixed together, by Zepp, and you can find that in the footnotes.
Wow.
Footnotes?
Footnotes?
Wow,
The Daily
Jack,
Zeitgeist.
I really am taking over.
I know. We have a team like offsite thing today, so we're this is gonna be no trending episode this afternoon, everybody, and then no full episode tomorrow morning. Back with tomorrow's trending episode. So the next 2 episodes won't be there.
So I guess you just won't know what's trending. You
That's right.
Fucking idiots. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Fools. All right. But we'll see you in 24 hours. The Daily Zeitgeist is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcast, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows. That's going to do it for us this morning. And we will talk to y'all on tomorrow's trending. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.